Okay, good afternoon, gang. It is, let me see exactly what time it is. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. Thought it was a little later than that. So it's 2 o'clock, December 15th. It's been a few days since my accident, and I've been pretty much cooped up in the house. I've gone out and run some errands, but pretty much just stayed in the house. I did go to the bar Saturday night. No, Friday night. Went to the bar Friday night. Shot a few games of pool. Hung out with some acquaintances, friends, whatever you want to call them. Met one of my acquaintance friends, friend from Sweden, and had a general good time. Shooting pool, just shooting the shit. But things took a turn. I got food poisoning, and I just wasn't feeling good. It was sore. I think I kind of like pushed it to go out to the bar and hang out. My bruises are healing, but they're still the crusty, like the scabs. So when you bend the areas at their end and where they are, make it difficult for me to sleep and lay in the bed and whatnot. So they're healing decently. One on my shoulder, right there, and I've got my arm. But I also had some bruising because I landed on my hip, and I think part of the motorbike hit my leg. There's still a little lump there, but it was like a big lump, and I knew it wasn't broken. Because at first I could walk on it. And there was no pain at all. It was just a bruise and pain, but it lumped up so big that I was like, man, it has to be some type of bone splinter or something. But as far as I know, because I have not been to the doctor, that is not the case. And I feel just fine. But I was really bruised. I had bruises on my rib area, my thigh area, my leg. So I was hobbling around. So I just stayed in the house for a day or two and then ventured out on Friday. So anyways, I ate at this place that I ate at a couple times before, and I've done a video on it, Pho.Hoi, I believe it is. I'll put the name in here. And I tried out a new dish, and it was the bomb. But the meat was a little small. So I was like, man, this is really damn good. And it comes with a piece of bread, and it's a cube of beef about this thick and about that long. So it's tiny, and then smothered in like an onion gravy. So I had gotten that the first night, and then I went back and I got two instead of my soup. And I made me some noodles. So I got 2 packs of noodles from the store next door, and I made some noodles, which is there, and then I put the beef in it, and man, did I get sick. For the first thing, it was like, damn, they gave me double the meat in one portion. Let's see if I can get this out. Let me get this out and show you guys. Now, I don't even think what type of meat this is. You know, I was thinking it was beef or buffalo, which I'm cool with. But now I'm beginning to think this was tougher. It wasn't braised long enough to be soft. It was just on out. It didn't have flavor like the last one. And I believe I got food poisoning from this. So I won't be eating this dish from there, as well as I got to slow down on the beef because my gout is acting up. So my toes were getting swollen in this area, as you can see from here, not swollen, and here a little bit inflamed and swollen. So red meat and shellfish also contribute to gout as well as alcohol. I haven't been drinking for 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to continue that, just detox for a while. That was always my plan, but be quite honestly, I drink out of boredom, things to do. I don't go out much. I'm honestly an introvert, and I've been desperately trying to get out of that. When I first started traveling through Asia, a little bit before, but I enjoy just being with myself sometimes, but it's not healthy, and it also leads to depression. I have depression, so I've been really trying to change some of my ways. Well, this is something that we'll talk about when we head out. So right now, we are going to go and pick up my shirt from the laundromat. Now you're probably saying, well, why are you washing your clothes at a laundromat and you got a washing machine right here? Well, first of all, I don't like these type of washing machines, the ones that spin this way and not the other way. And it just wasn't getting the clothes clean. There was lint. I guess there was some paper in here that just never fully got out. And so every time I washed the clothes, there would be lint and paper on it. And it's a shame because I still have a full bag of laundry detergent. And this is the other bag. It was buy one, get one free. And I bought that when I first got here. So good news for you guys is if you do come here to Da Nang and you buy the laundry detergent, it'll last you a long time. Also, depending on how much you do laundry. I was doing laundry once a week and then taking it up on the roof and drying it out. So, and I don't remember, I think it was 156. So it was like $6, $5.50, somewhere around there for the laundry detergent. So it's not very expensive at all. So anyways, I got maybe 70 to 80% of my clothes washed. You know, I didn't get these shirts washed. I don't wear them that often. And just got the items here and some bedding here. So they charge you a different price for the bedding than they do for the clothing. And I didn't get the price for how much it is per kilo, but I want to say I had like 5 or 6 kilos of clothing, and it came to it came to 92. Then when I went back, she was like 95. All right, whatever. So I paid her that, but one of my shirts was not dry, so she said come back, and I honestly just wasn't feeling good yesterday. I'm like, okay, what time do you close? I'll come back at close, yada, yada, yada. And I never did. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I just felt like shit. And I was going to force myself to go out. So today, the weather isn't that great. There is sunshine out. It just keeps changing from what I look out the window. So we're going to head to the beach, walk around some areas, go get something to eat. But first, we're going to go pick up the shirt, walk around the Antong area. We'll just do some more introducing you to different parts of the Antong. Take the drone up. My stomach's feeling still a little queasy, but so we're going to go to Roots, and I'm going to get the falafel bowl, but I'm going to bring it back. I have a dressing that I've made here. They don't give you enough dressing. I don't know if it's a ploy to get you to buy more dressing, which is 20,000 baht. So it's like 80 cents, almost $1 for these little small cups of dressing. As I'm like, no, I did it the last time. I'm like, no. You might say, oh, well, that's cheap compared to the U.S. Yes, but the amount that they give you just still isn't enough. So anyways, eventually we will eat at Roots as long as they don't have the music on for the copyright. But I have this dressing that I make. And it's quite delicious. It's just lime juice, this spicy soy sauce, sesame oil. I put some of that chili in it, some of this spicy chili, some garlic, chopped up raw garlic, and brown sugar, and just make me a little dressing with that. And they're probably saying, well, that's not going to taste good on falafel bowl. Yes, it does. So anyways, I bought myself an apple yesterday to eat, and I didn't even eat that. It was just, I just wasn't feeling good. So I haven't eaten. I'm a little hungry. Not really, to be honest with you. So we're gonna go take care of those things, see what the weather's like, see if there's any people on the beach, and just try and get some sun, get some air, and see what's up. So, yeah, let's just do this. When I got my laundry back yesterday, I had 2 mismatched socks. So I'm missing each sock plus the shirt. So let's go back and see if we can acquire those socks, get them back. So I'll also show you the scooter that I got now. Like, I was really planning on doing some road trips. We'll talk about that when we walk on the beach. Give me something to walk and talk about. Okay, it took me a minute. But this is my bike here. Now, since I got into the accident of the other one. Trunk space is probably just a little bit smaller. There's the readout. Bigger. It's a newer bike, but it doesn't have any get up and go. So it makes it kind of difficult to cross the street, and you need speed to cross the street. Not necessarily, but in my case, and the way I see it, you need speed. Obviously, people who ride these bikes, they get across the street, but they get across very slowly and scared. It doesn't have that 0 to 60, if you will, that torque, I guess you call it. I'm not a car guy, I don't know all those terminologies, but it just doesn't have that oomph to get across the street. Also, I haven't tried to get up large hills or anything like that, but I'm sure that I'd have problems trying to do that. So I will eventually go and talk to the people. That's something else we'll talk about on the beach. So let's head out. I haven't tried to mount this on here yet. This is obviously a different bike. So let's see. Okay, so I got a email, and yes, I got your email from a subscriber, and he said the noise is annoying, and he said, and I like the way that these guys approach me. He said, hey, I just want to give you some feedback, you know, yada yada yada, not trying to be negative or anything like that, but was saying that the noise from the camera is quite annoying. She isn't she? And he had to turn off the sound of the video because it was just that annoying to him. To each his own. I don't think the noise is annoying. I've only gotten one comment on that noise. I have gotten comment on the music, which I don't put the music in anymore. For a lot of reasons, not just that, but anyways, so to answer that subscriber, because I haven't answered his email, and I apologize for that, because I am very good at answering subscribers back. There's nothing I can do about it. This is the mount that I have. I don't have the money to go out and buy another mount. It's not working out the best way of what I wanted, but it's working out at least 50 to 75% of what I wanted. It's not that sturdy. When I go over a bump or whatnot, yeah, it does move, although the stabilization in the camera is pretty damn good. You don't really see it that much, if at all. But yes, it does make noise and a sound. I don't notice it as much as you, so there's really nothing I can do until I can get another mount that doesn't make any noise. But let me see if I can get this off and then put it back on. Yeah, there we go. This is what it is. Oh, see, now I just broke it. Trying to do that to show you. Okay, I popped it back on. Good. Woo. I mean, it's one of those that moves, and yeah, it makes a little bit of sound, but there's nothing I can really do until I can get a mount that was really meant for movement on a bike. So I thank you for your comment. Sorry for the late reply. I'm replying in the video, but yeah, I apologize. There's really nothing I can do. So let's get on. And another thing is, I had to put this back on the charger because the little intro I just did upstairs took me down to 85% battery, which is terrible. DJI really needs to come up with longer batteries for their cameras and things. Yeah, the young lady there, she's gorgeous. Really slim, nice long straight black hair. That was her boyfriend with her. And I'm not sure if the older lady that's with her is her mom, but they run that little shop in front of where I live. I have to say I'm getting really annoyed with the driving here. And I notice it more than, I mean, I've always noticed it, but we're gonna hang a left here. I mean a right here. I've noticed it more since I've gotten to the accident. Alright, so this is the spot I go to. Okay, it's her, not her mom. I'm telling her I missed the sock, but
I'm fine, I go.
I don't know if I lost it here.
Yeah.
Can you look for me?
Sorry,
Alright, so I got my shirt. We'll check it out once we get to, well, when we get back home. I'm gonna leave it in the bag, though, therefore it's protected. So I don't see any pricing. She doesn't speak English very well, so I'm not gonna go through that and after what the pricing is. But as you can see from the signs on the wall, nothing's in English. I'm assuming most of the people that she has as clients are, let's hurry up and get this because cars are gonna start coming. The light just turned green. Are Vietnamese. So nonetheless, I'm gonna be a lot careful. You see this truck? Right on his ass. Right on his ass. It's just the way they drive, man. Go ahead, lady. I'm even more aware of it since I've gotten into the accident. If my eyes weren't on a swivel before, or lacking a little bit, I'm definitely looking now. And no more passing cars on the left-hand side when there's a left-hand turn coming up. So once this gets up to speed, this scooter I'm talking about, the speed is decent. So I'll see, pay attention when I'm at a dead stop and trying to accelerate. You can hear the engine straining as well as it's not fast. All right. There's a brother on the corner here.
engine really sounds like it's straining. So, as you can see, the cloud coverage is pretty gray at the beach, but I'll show you behind us. And I like this mount for the simple fact that I can do this while I'm driving. But that's what the weather looks like behind us. But let's pay attention now that we're coming to this roundabout. Let me know, is anyone else annoyed with this sound of these plastic pieces squeaking as I'm driving? Which is getting worse as it loosens, but I just don't think it's that bad. I love to see the mountains like that. So beautiful. On the ass of these scooters, it just takes a scooter one time to slow down and then to run over them, and I'm so surprised there's not so many more accidents. That Indian food smells good. I think it's a new Indian bar. This place they're still working on. Looks like they've made some progress. If you remember when I did the walk on the beach, looks nice. I'd love to be able to afford to stay in some of these places here, man. That was my ultimate goal, and I'm kind of glad I didn't do it. I really like this one with the plants growing up. Look at that. It's beautiful. Now you can park up here. Park on the street here. I prefer to pull my bike up. Park here. Which I'm not sure if you could, I'm good. How you doing? So guys, now that that happened, because he's circling back, they're trying to take you to Girls, and he pulled up right alongside. Huh? No, I'm good. Thank you. No boom boom. Thank you. I like the boom boom, but I'm good. Thank you. Maybe another time. All right. So I didn't get his face in the camera, but when he realized that I had a camera, he stopped talking about boom boom. But anyways, what happens is these guys pull up wearing Grab uniforms, and I'll get into that. Lots to talk about walking on the beach. Pull up wearing Grab uniforms. They want to give you a Grab ride on the back of their motorcycle, but a lot of them, they're just riding around on the sidewalks here, along this boardwalk, if that's what you want to call it, and they pull up Boom Boom. So yes, you can get Boom Boom, and they'll take you to a place, not a strip club, like a massage parlor. Yes, there are massage parlors where you can get Boom Boom. I was offered that one night when I was here a couple months ago for a week, 10 days, and I'm like, no, thank you. Maybe I'll come back. I haven't heard any bad stories about that. So, do it at your own risk. I would think that I would hear some horrific stories or some issues with some of the people that I meet, the older gentlemen and younger people, but I don't hear it. So maybe it is legit, but I don't want to risk it, and I'm really not really into that. So looks like there's some people in the water down there. The weather is great. There's a little breeze here, as you can see, but I want to say 78, 76 degrees, and the mountains look great. I like how that sun is coming through, peeking through, where you can see all the rest of the mountain is like shrouded with cloud cover, but then the sun's peeking through right there. And I like driving through those mountains. But like I was saying, it looks like there's some people on the water there. We'll see what the water temperature looks like. Actually, we won't, because I don't want to get my shoes or feet wet, because walking on the beach in my Yeezys when they were wet, like last time I told you, didn't feel good. My feet were sloshing around in there, and I just didn't like it. So the water just came up to me. We'll touch it. I don't know if you saw those bubbles. There's something living in there, but the water's warm. It's about as warm as the outside temperature. So we've walked this before, and maybe honestly I should have gone down, but we've walked that one before too. But as you get to that last big building down there, all of that is private beach. Now I heard, when I saw a video, there is an access point, some of them, to get to the beach, but basically where that big building is, with the mountain right behind it, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how to, like I said, I've done it before, and I can't do it now. But I had the part where you can zoom in. Anyways, it is what it is. The beach, the road turns to the right and then goes straight down to Hoi An. But all those buildings behind it that are going down till you can't see anymore, all that is private beach, private beach land. You can't get to it unless you go through one of those properties. So there's tons of resorts down there. As you see me, if you watch my fucking videos, you'd see me when I drove last time to not to Hoi An, but in that area and the golf courses, which I didn't actually see, but there's a lot of golf courses down there, new development homes down there, which I did drive through, that are pretty much abandoned. So you really can't go and partake in the beach unless you're at the resort. So anyways, maybe we'll walk this way. So I'll start off with saying that, and going back into the part where I said I'm an introvert. I do enjoy being with myself sometimes, but sometimes I want a little action. Hard for me to make friends. When I smell bullshit, I really like disconnect from people. I'm a realist. I say what I mean and mean what I say. I use logic, not emotions, and feelings, and I don't like people who don't use logic. Which would make you think that I don't get along with females very well. Because they're emotional creatures. Okay, now my subscription just went down by, just lost 10 subscribers. But it is what it is. So, anyways, I think making friends here, finding women here, all depend on your financial status, your age, as well as, I'll go ahead and say it, your mental status, who you are as a person, introverted, outgoing, this, that, and the other. But it depends on what you're doing to engage in people, what your financial status is to do activities, to meet people, how old you are, your career, what you have to talk about. All of those types of things will help you in that. So I've said this before, and I'll reiterate that I don't believe Da Nang here at my financial level is good for men 50 and older for dating. Not here. I've had some women flirt with me that are younger, but I don't want to misconstrue that as flirting. Could be flirting, could not be flirting. So just never assume. I don't want to get my feet wet. I'm going to have to wait for a break. So kindness and friendliness, you can't really assume. And I also have to say that most of these women were at places that I was spending money. And, you know, people are going to act happy and friendly and this, that, and the other, except in Thailand when you're spending money. I've met quite a few rude people that I stopped eating at because of the way that they treated me or talked to me or interacted with me. Oh yeah, there's some little crab because he's poking out of this little hole here. So I tend to get off subject. So, like, I'm not in the age demographic when you go to Blends to meet women at Blends. Yeah, it's coming along. I don't know if parts of it are open or they just moved the furniture to one side, but it's coming along. It'll be open by summertime or springtime or whatever seasons they call it. What seasons they call it here, I would call it spring. So I don't partake in places like Blends with the younger crowd, the trendy crowd. I don't know. Vocabulary is not that great. How to describe the people that I believe they are at Blends. It's just not my scene. And there are some beautiful women at Blends, and you'll see them walking up and down the street in groups, usually in two or more, usually more. As you saw in the video, if you watched the video where I said these girls were walking up and down the street and they had like the short mini skirts. And I don't want to categorize. Well, I do want to categorize them. That, to me, it's sexual appealing. It brings lust out of the men. And it's a whore's uniform when, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because yeah, it gets my attention and I want to smash, but I don't necessarily want to date a woman who dresses like that, even when we're going out. It's just not the type of woman I want. But you'll find a lot of women with their flat as their butts are. Most of them. There are some Vietnamese women here that are voluptuous, bodacious. But these women have their cheeks, the bottom of their cheeks hanging out. They're constantly having to pull their skirts down. It's just, kids naked. You gotta watch out for that too when you're out here filming YouTubers. kids will be naked playing at the beach. Doesn't weird me out or anything like that. But in the day and the age of the pedophile and YouTube and all that, you can't have that on YouTube. And I think they should be kind of wary, but I don't think that the people are aware of pedophilia as much as Western countries are. So anyways, the women are scantily clad and this, that, and if that's the type of women that you want to associate yourself with or have one night stands with, yeah, I'm all for that, but it's not a woman that I want to wife up or make a girlfriend. And if I was to get into a relationship, I date for a purpose, not for sex, for a relationship, or to get to know someone that might build into a relationship. And if I don't feel if it's going to build into a relationship, then I'm out the door. I don't want to date you and waste my time and my money, my resources, taking you out, spending money on you. So anyways, I just find it difficult. And I haven't approached any women, but some women have said some things that I would consider to be flirting. And I'm not talking about, oh, handsome man, like they say in Thailand, but one woman came and, oh, I love your eyes are just so beautiful. And she sat there, and I said, thank you. And she like stayed there for a second, thinking I was gonna return the whatever, continue with the conversation, maybe give her a compliment, this, that, and the other, and I didn't. And she hasn't spoken to me since. And she works at a bar that I go to. And she's attractive. I mean, she's not the hottest thing in the world, but she's attractive. Young, like I like young women. But at that particular moment, it kind of went over my head because I was shooting pool, drinking, and hanging out. Yeah, man, it's quite warm out here. And yeah, it just kind of like went over my head. And so now when I see her at the bar, she doesn't even acknowledge my presence. So maybe I dropped the ball on that. So I would say if you're a single man in your 50s and you're not in the shape that I'm in, because I'm not in the best shape, I got a little belly. But I'm consider myself in pretty decent shape. This isn't Thailand where you can be a fat, bald old man and be seen walking around with a 19-year-old woman. This is not the Philippines. And respectively, Cambodia, although I didn't see it that much in Cambodia, it still happens in Cambodia. But I see it more in the Philippines, in Thailand, than I would see it here in Vietnam or Cambodia. Not saying if you're an older man you can't get a younger woman and when I say younger woman, I'm talking about younger than you are. I'm not talking about 19, 20, 30, 40. I mean, whatever. I'm being a woman that's younger than you guys. Don't read into it that I'm talking about I'm out here hunting or you should be hunting for 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds, because that's not the case. I just said younger women. So I don't see it that much. Actually, I don't see it at all. Now, the lady that I get my sandwiches from, I don't know how old she is. I want to say she's in her 30s. And I want to say her husband, who she has 2 children with, is 40s, maybe 50s, I don't know. But he's a slim white guy, he's got money, who works in the AI sector. So again, he's providing a lifestyle for her. And if you watch the video, which a lot of people you didn't, kind of shame on you Vietnamese people. Here I am promoting Vietnamese business, and you guys aren't liking the videos and promoting these videos. I get more likes and views and comments from videos from Westerners than from Thai people, Vietnamese people, sorry. And not a lot of watched or shared videos when I'm trying to promote Thai businesses and whatnot. And I'm not doing that for likes and views. I'm just doing it because I generally like to support Vietnamese businesses while I'm here and try new things and new food, which subsequently got me to food poisoning. So got this castle coming up. Yeah, I needed a walk, and I need to get some vitamin D, some sun. I like these little coconuts growing on the trees here. Kind of dangerous. People sitting underneath here, and the coconut's gonna fall. Those are getting a little bigger. So anyways, kind of disappointed that the Vietnamese people didn't promote that video and get a lot of views, but I also have another video from the barbecue guy where I actually videotape him making the food, but I just haven't put it out yet because of that. And also I wanted to go back and interview him. So it's just a video with no sound, no talking, no nothing, of him making everything from scratch, or everything he could that day from scratch, the product that he had. So that video will be coming out soon. I just need to get back over there and interview him to add that to it. So I kind of forgot some of the topics that I want to talk about, so while it's on my mind, the motorbike. So obviously the motorbike wasn't destroyed. Some scraps, some bruises. Shit, this is like 30 minutes already. Jesus. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to make long videos, but I mean, a lot of people like the long videos, but I know people have short attention spans, so I'm trying to make shorter videos to get more subscribers. I'd like to get monetized to have a second source of income. Right now I'm 400 plus subscribers away from being monetized, and like 50 hours, 60 hours or something like that from having enough watched hours. But anyways, so the scooter's not destroyed. He drove off on it. I know it can be fixed. I haven't heard back from him since the accident. They said that they would be in touch with me, or at least the gentleman that I deal with when I go and pay for the scooter and basically runs the shop. And I haven't heard from him, and that was, let's just say Wednesday. I believe it was Wednesday or Tuesday I got into the accident. And here it is, Monday. So I thought about it, getting a lawyer, and I think I will, because I don't want to, at the last minute, them say, hey, it's going to cost you X amount of money. So I'm just up in the air about getting a lawyer and finding out what the process is for compensation for getting into an accident with paying back for the scooter. This is a nice property. I don't know if it's open. There's some furniture on that ledge there, but it really looks like there's no one staying here. Two nice properties. And this is that castle I was talking about. I forgot what one person put on Facebook and on YouTube, like, oh, what is this? It's a resort, guys. It's a resort made to look like a castle. So anyways, I'm hoping that it won't cost me more than, I don't know, 300 to 600 bucks compensation to fix whatever cosmetic damage was done to the scooter. Also, being that it was an older scooter, I just don't see it costing that much. So you guys comment in the comment section. Do you think I should get a lawyer, waste the money on the lawyer, or just try and handle this amongst ourselves? I just don't want to be taken advantage of. Okay, now that I'm thinking about this, these places where you get lobsters or seafood, the prices have gone up since I was here just a couple months ago. Now, I don't know if it's because this is considered the high season because of the weather. Although I am working up a slight sweat, it is getting warmer. Also because I'm walking, so I'm generating heat. And we got a long ways to walk back. Not long ways, but a nice ways to walk back. So I pulled up on one of these restaurants and they were like, oh, sir, we ran out of the 9,000 per kilo. We only have the, I don't know what he said. I think it was 2.5 or 3 million per kilo lobsters. And I was like, oh, okay. And pulled off. When I went to that market, and I went to a couple shops and they were all doing the same thing. We're out of these cheaper lobsters. We only have these expensive lobsters. And when I went to that market where I got the avocados, they were also charging 1.2 million per kilo, which honestly isn't bad. And I don't think those lobsters would have came to over a kilo for the lobsters. So it's about $50 per kilo per lobster, 1.5 if I'm correct with my math. I'll put the conversion rate in there. Yeah, I had to let that motorcycle go. I don't want to make any assumption of the race of people that are driving up and down the street on those bikes. So she's in the swimming zone, the no swimming zone, and he's blowing the whistle to get her to get her ass out of the water. I don't know if you heard the whistle. Looks like they're clearing this away. But I just think those prices are quite pricey. Now, I will say this. I watched the video because of these recent storms and past storms. The lobster industry, because a lot of the lobsters, which I did not know, are farm-raised lobsters. Another motorcycle. You make your own judgment if you know about Thailand and other countries where these assholes are speeding up and down the road on motorcycles in these Asian countries. I'm not going to say what nationality they've come out to be, but you look it up. They're farm raised, so I can understand maybe the supply and demand, the price going up because these farms are getting destroyed, and these are the worst storms that they've had, I've heard, in like 30 years or something like that.
That's how they do.
So I guess that could account for some of the high prices. I don't know. But the prices of the seafood, I guess the point I'm trying to make, has gone up, particularly for lobsters. I had a mud crab when I was here my first time. Delicious. Not a lot of meat and very hard to crack. Don't like the mud crabs. Although it was quite delicious. Now let's see what she's gonna do. Okay. I don't know if she's trying to get away from the dog or she was gonna drift into me. So I do want to get some blue swimmer crabs, and cook those up maybe this weekend because I love crabs and I haven't had any seafood since I've been here. Shrimp. Did I get shrimp? Yeah, I got the shrimp fried rice, which I didn't put the video out. I think I have it, and I'll put it out because I was comparing the price of what I paid for shrimp fried rice at one of the pho restaurants that I go to versus going to the beach 2 blocks away and getting seafood rice. So I think I got my rice for $55,000 and they charge like triple that, if not. I forgot what the price is. Obviously it's in the video. So when you're eating at these little restaurants, you're getting jacked up prices. If you're here for a long time vacationing, let's say 2-3 weeks, maybe you want to eat here 2 or 3 times a week, but you want to go inland and you want to get away from the tourist areas and get something to eat, because the prices here are just going up, and you're paying tourist prices. So if you're okay with that and you came here to spend money and enjoy your vacation, do it. If that's your financial status is and in your budget to be able to do that. Like, see, here's an older gentleman with, she's not too much older. And like I said, he's in decent shape. And he's not balling out of control as far as what he's wearing. You know, he's got some basic, looks like Skechers on, a dry fit shirt and some shorts. But they're probably staying in a nice place, and he can afford, I'm not going to say to wine and dine, but he can afford to probably take her out and eat at certain places. And, you know, do activities and whatnot. So you have to have your finances up if you plan on, I'm not going to say 100% time, but most of these women want you to be able to be financially stable and be able to take care of them. Enough on that subject. Well, I will reiterate one at a time. I know a YouTuber here, and if he watches my videos, so he knows I'm talking about him. But he met a girl who was doing content. He was like, hey, let's fly up to Hanoi and let's do some content. And she's like, okay, but you're paying for everything. My flight, the hotel, food, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, I'm not doing that. So I guess they stopped dating. How long they were dating, I don't know. I didn't ask all that. He volunteered that information. Now, to me, that's perfectly normal if you've been dating for some time. Apparently, they have not, because he has only been here around the same time that I've been here. And I know he wasn't dating her because he would have mentioned that the times that we went out. So maybe they were only dating for like a week or so. I don't know. Let's walk up this way. So to me, it's expected. Now, you saw that motorcycle or heard that motorcycle? He's honking his horn for the motorbikes to get out of his way because he's riding on a motorcycle and he wants to go faster. We don't have the light. Okay, so they were turning. That's what saved us. So, for me, if you're dating a woman here in Asia, they do expect you to pay for everything. They're the woman, you're the man. They clean the house, they cook, yada, yada, yada. But it also depends on if the woman is westernized. So I'm not going to go too much into that. You know exactly what I mean. But it is what it is. So let's get off that subject. Now, I've never seen them stock this up. This place is pretty popular, and as you can see, tons of seafood. And quite expensive. But the Asians love them. Look at these crabs. And American lobsters. These suckers are huge. So this is 1.9 for these American lobsters. Look at his claw. Look at the claw. Jesus, huge. Now, these are 3.2 million for these lobsters. How are these lobsters more expensive than the other lobsters? Well, The Chinese love these lobsters to the point where in the U.S. they were, Jesus, look at this guy. All of the spiny lobsters from the Gulf of Mexico and all those areas around there, the Caribbean and all that, were selling out. These little baby lobsters. I don't know where these are coming from, but this should be illegal. In the U.S., you'd have to throw these back. Couple dead ones here. So again, under $2 million per kilo for these large ones. And then for these smaller ones, $2.550. That's ridiculous. So apparently these spiny lobsters taste better. I think there's more meat, and the Asians love them, so it drives the price up. Here's I think these are red crays from Australia. $3.75 million. Dungeness crabs. $1.45 million per kilo. Shit, I might have to come back here and get a Dungeness crab. Another cray. $3.5. Stingrays. Beautiful blue spotted. $1.5 million. Sturgeon, some kind. $6.9 million. Scallops, 2.9. Oysters, 1.6 million. Different abalone. 2.5 for the abalone. This abalone here is 1.8. Wait, these oysters are 3.5 per kilo. Then we got the big, I think, local oysters, those huge ones. Barbecuing oysters is what we call them. Then you got the mud crabs here, 1.1, and these are 1. So that's why I got the mud crab, because it was cheaper, but the shell is just tough. So they got the mantis shrimp for 2.5. They have them in the plastic container so they're bigger so they won't hurt each other. These are 2.6 for these mantis shrimp. Big ass giant shrimp. Puffer fish. So I haven't come across the crabs I like. So this is what they were trying to charge me at the market. $1.95 for these little small lobsters. Now granted, this isn't gonna come to a kilo. Maybe 3 of them would come to a kilo. And I really like those lobsters. They taste good. I don't know if these are dead or on their way out. I think they're dead or on their way out. Yep, they're dead. So basically, these are gonna make it slipper tail lobster. These are the ones that you see in the night market on ice that they're trying to sell you for super cheap because they're dead. Be careful. You never want to buy dead seafood. And that's why, honestly, I didn't buy any, because I knew they were dead. Yeah, I don't see the crabs that I like. I guess because they're so cheap and people don't buy them. They don't carry them. So this is the kitchen here. I would love to come here at night when they're busy to see everyone cooking in the walks. Nice open kitchen, induction, what do you call them? Oh man, the name escapes me. And I work in the culinary industry. The ovens who have the steam and all that stuff, they have them. So I've got 18%. This video is already at 49 minutes plus the intro. So this video is going to be long. So all the seafood just got flown in. Dead fish there. So I think I will come back here and eat here before I leave. I wanted to talk about that too, but we'll do that on another walk and talk video. Here's a little gold jewelry store. I don't know if you've seen the news recently. It seems to be happening a lot more. But a tourist hit a security guard over the head, tried to steal some gold. In Thailand, some Thai people did it too as well. Some Burmese people crossed over the border and robbed a jewelry store. So it's a lot of poverty here, people desperate, taking desperate measures, illegal desperate measures to feed themselves and their family, and they're robbing these gold stores. This is a nice little spot here. Needs a little cosmetic on the outside. So we basically walk to the area where I live. Like if you go straight up, so I got a nice walk back home. If you go straight up and then make a left, I'm closer to the other main road that's like this that leads to the beach. So I don't live in between, I live closer to the other road. But this is, to me, is the start of the Antong area, where all the restaurants, hotels, shops, souvenir shops. You already see me do the video where I walked around this neighborhood from coming from the Korean barbecue place down the street. So here's the seat. And as you can see, they have the street information here. I'll pause it here so you can scan it. There's the street name of the main street that goes down to the beach. And then the crossroad. I don't try to pronounce these names, but I'll do it in Tran Bak Dong. Maybe I said it right, I don't know. But that'll take you straight down and you'll be smack dab into what everyone calls the Antong area, where a lot more Western white expats are, where that bar where those people got in a fight, where I go and get most of my food, actually where we'll be going, is straight down this street for me to go to Roots to get my falafel bowl. So I know I said I wasn't going to videotape anymore. I'm shooting on the iPhone, and I don't know if you can see this. Okay, I'm sure you heard that. But there's surfers out here. Looks like there's one way out there too as well. And there were a couple out there that I don't see anymore. Okay, there's one. And they just keep getting lost in the waves. Wouldn't be me. So that loud sound you heard was one of the tires blowing out. So they just pulled over to the side to check it. But this is one of those concrete pouring crane trucks. Got a nice little walk ahead of us.